We're back again. All right, I'm here with Michael Paul from Day 3 Fragrances. We had a conversation a few minutes ago. I was inspired and excited about his fragrance brand. There are so many great fragrances here that I want to highlight, but we're going to talk about 3 or 4 of them just to give you guys an overview of some of these fantastic fragrances. And I want him to tell you a little bit about his story and also the inspiration behind these fragrances.
Sure, yeah. We're a very small fragrance brand and we're brand new. We just started about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And we created our first fragrance, La Tacita de Café, and entered it into the Art and Olfaction Awards.
Okay.
And I mean, it's unbelievable. We ended up winning that award. And nobody was more surprised than us. We were completely shocked. That sort of helped to launch our brand because suddenly people knew who we were and we had instant credibility for a new house because we had won a huge award.
Yeah.
And so we've just been working hard since then. It's just a family-owned business. So it's myself, my wife, my daughter, my sister-in-law, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah. And we do everything ourselves by hand. We're a 100% artisan company. So we take all of the materials in, I formulate them, I'm the perfumer, and we compound everything, macerate everything, and bottle everything on site. So when you get a Day 3 bottle, nobody has touched this bottle except for a member of our family. So it's like directly from us to you, and that's really meaningful for us. Like we feel like we're giving you a piece of our story and like sharing our family with you, and that's the whole idea of Day 3.
So what are some of your favorites, if we can talk about, especially the one that started the entire line? Let's start off with that one, but let's talk about some of your favorite fragrances.
Sure, La Tacita de Café is definitely one of my favorites because it's a really personal fragrance for me.
Okay.
I have a mom who doesn't talk to me, and so for a long time it's been negative. It lived in the back of my head, and I have a mom. Yeah. And when I married my wife, she's Dominican, and the Dominican culture is very family oriented. So like right away, her mom sort of adopted me into the family, you know. And every time we would go visit her at her house, she would sit us both down and she would make us a little piece of Dominican cake and a cup of coffee, and with the brown sugar and the cinnamon. And I began associating that scent with the feeling of having a mom again.
Okay.
So for me, it's not just a coffee fragrance. It's like a mother's love. Like when I spray it on, it feels like I'm wearing a hug.
Awesome.
We actually took, when I made the accords for this, we brought the accords in little bottles to her house and matched them directly to her coffee, her cake. So it's like, yeah, it's very spot on as far as the fragrance goes.
This is Filosofia.
There you go.
You might like this one a little better. It's inspired by a Dominican cigar.
Oh, wow.
Tobacco leather.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a trend in the industry where coffee fragrances are going more and more to be like just coffee, where it's like everyone wants to know what smells the most like coffee. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to smell like my mother's house. There's all those nuances and things in there. So the coffee is there, but it's blended into a bigger fragrance.
Yeah, I can smell that. I definitely smell. It's more like a fresh brewing part of the coffee. Almost like that coffee grind as you put it into the pot. The smell definitely this sugary tone, but a darker kind of tone with the sugary smell. It's not super sweet, but it's gourmand. Definitely. This is outstanding.
And perfectly unisex. You can get away with wearing it as a man or a woman. I wear it all the time, and it smells great on my wife. And sometimes if I feel like I'm gonna have a rough day or if I'm a little stressed out, I'll actually spray La Tacita de Café because it makes me feel like more relaxed, more at ease.
And it does it. I'm getting either a woody or powdery nuance. What is that?
That's the musks in the base helping to create the feel of the perfume.
Okay.
So with a musk, you don't necessarily smell the musk directly, but a lot of times it can change the way a formula feels on your skin.
Okay.
And that's what gives it its warmth and its softness. Coffee can be a little bit sharp sometimes, and we want to really soften it up to give it that love.
So what's the next one we can talk about? This is great.
So Escándalo is another favorite. This was our summer release.
Okay.
And this is an industry first also because we're the very first company to use Dominican Daisy in a fragrance.
Okay.
Dominican Daisy is really interesting because you would think it would smell like a flower, but if you crush up Dominican Daisy and you smell it in your hands, it smells like bubblegum.
Whoa,
So the sweetness in this fragrance is actually a floral. It's very green, it's very fresh on the top. We blended that Dominican Daisy with guava in the top, and then in the heart there's a rose de mai.
It almost smells like a tropical soft drink. It smells, but more on the brighter, cleaner, citrusy side. And I like that. That is, this is just same vacation right now.
Yeah, on the beaches in the Dominican Republic where the Dominican daisy grows, when the sun comes up on the beach, the warmth from the very first sun rays hitting the foliage makes the air smell like a perfume. Wow. It's really wild. So that's sort of inspired by dawn, like breaking dawn on the Dominican beach.
Actually, I've never smelled anything like this. This is nice.
No, it's not.
Okay. I'm impressed. Let's go to the next one and see what else we have.
Sure, let's do one last really special one.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
So Aylin is very, very special because Scent Explorer called and they wanted Day 3 Fragrances to create the official perfume of Scent Explorer.
Wow.
And so that's Aylin. So Aylin is the official fragrance for the 2024 event. It's a vanilla, and it's also decorated with Bulgarian rose and Vietnamese oud.
Bulgarian rose is usually on the jammier side of the road, right?
Jammier side green. It has a bright freshness because we used the absolute and not the Ford, so it cuts right through that vanilla.
Okay.
The fragrance is named after my daughter, and we used all of my daughter's favorite notes, so it's kind of like a tribute to her.
Okay.
So the backstory is like everyone told me when I became a dad that like when your daughter grows up, when she gets to be a teenager, she's gonna get like away from you, and she's gonna go to her friends and think dad's not so cool.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've been like terrified about that. You know, as she's growing up, she's daddy's little girl, right? But through perfumery, because she's into perfumery, and we have a lab, she's always right there with me in the lab. So we've actually really grown closer together. And I wanted to do a perfume that has her name on it to like just pay tribute to that relationship.
That's awesome. That's great.
Because my daughter's name on it, we used all of the most exquisite materials. I mean, I spared no expense because it's for my little girl. And so we did the best we could.
You know it's hard to impress me. You guys that follow my channel know that I'm not going to give you any fluff.
This one's more of a...
3 fragrances I smell here.
We do have more
In the 5 minutes of smelling each one of these, there's not one bad one. There is not one that I want to get excited, but it's going to look fake, and I don't want to do that. I'm telling you, every single fragrance I smell, top notch. And they're all different and diverse in their own right. This one is playful. This one is, I think this one is definitely going to appeal to the younger crowd between 20 to 30. You're really going to enjoy this one. But I urge you guys, go check out the entire line. I can't wait to smell more of the fragrances, get a little bit more in depth with the fragrances, guys. Thank you again for the opportunity to introduce you to your fragrances. Guys, tell them where they can find your fragrance.
Yeah, we're on Instagram at Day 3 Fragrances. You can find our website, day3fragrances.com. Pretty much anywhere on the web you search Day 3 Fragrances, we'll be there.
All right. Guys, on to the next.